Okay, so it's been a crazy trip so far. There's a couple little bugaboos, including buying the wrong plug-in adapter. Um, yeah, I don't know how I went wrong there. It was pretty obvious once I went back and Googled it. I should have bought the correct one, but I didn't. But the hotel that I stayed at last night when I first flew in and I realized what I had done, they had some extras from customers or clients staying at the hotel that have left them over the years, and so they were able to give me one with the USB port on the other side, which is exactly what I needed. So it's a little wobbly. I think I need to search for another one to get one that won't break on me, because that's all I have to be able to charge my cell phone and my external battery that I use to charge up my electronics like my watch and my cell phone, my DeLorme satellite beacon. I guess that's all I charge. But all my maps are on my cell phone, so I desperately need my cell phone to be able to be charged. So got that taken care of, but I will look for another one, just kind of as backup, because I'm so worried that the prong will break that's loose. Today, another snafu. It was a crazy day. It started off, I thought my train left Dublin I had already reserved a ticket. I already bought it online about a month ago. I thought it was at 11. At about 9:15, I looked at the ticket that was on my cell phone just to make sure that I knew what I was doing, and it was actually at 10. So I threw everything into my pack really quick, rushed down to the lobby and asked them how to get to the train station. They said at this point you can't take the bus, you need to call a cab because you're not going to make it. It was the last train that was heading to where I needed to go in Castletownbere. So I snagged the cab. He got there with 2 minutes to spare. He yelled at me, just give me what you have as far as cash. He actually got $10 less than what I owed him. He was fine with it. He got outside the cab and was yelling, go, 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 just run. They'll let you in. And they did. Unfortunately, because I was running, I was going so fast, I went into the first class car and sat down right away, just out of breath, and promptly got reprimanded for that and got kicked out to the regular cars. The train ride was beautiful. If you're following my Facebook page, I wound up having a really great table mate that I started talking to. She's 72, lives in kind of the eastern United States, and she had been traveling for a few weeks all around Ireland with a knitting group, a bunch of ladies that knit and want to learn about knitting and different stitches, and specifically I think Irish cables. So we were talking about that, and she was kind of telling me where everybody was from, and she said there was a nurse from Boise, Idaho, and she said her name is Jane, and I just by off chance said Jane Grassley, and she's like, yes. Well, Jane, Dr. Grassley, was on my committee for my doctoral project, a dissertation last year at Boise State. So such a small world that I'm sharing a table on a train in Ireland with a woman who has spent the last 3 weeks with Jane that I totally know and that I've known for about 3.5 years. So that was pretty cool. We were lucky to find each other. We were very happy about that because we both had to catch a bus, and it was the last bus to go to where we needed to go tonight. So we had a little bit of spare time. We looked at the schedules, and figured out the buses. She was on the bus right ahead of me. They left at about the same time, but we were going kind of separate directions. So I had to say goodbye, but we had lunch together first, and it was really nice to be able to kind of hear everything that she's learned from being in Ireland for the last few weeks or whatever. So I got to where I needed to go, but unfortunately, in the rush of packing my pack this morning to get to the train, I did not pack my sleeping pad, which is one of the most essential things that I need, because with the weather here, the cold, the rain, my sleeping pad, an inflatable one, has a super high R value, which means it's very thermal. And I just brought a quilt, a down quilt, which has no, basically has no back to it. So I lay directly on my pad and the quilt just goes over me. Without a pad, I won't stay warm enough. So I have to take the bus, same bus, back to Cork tomorrow morning at 7. It's about a 2.5 hour bus drive. I've already called a supply store there. They have a pad for me. It's not as warm as the one I already had, but I think it'll suffice. It's got to do. It's the only one I can get a hold of. They nowhere around here that I can find sells what I already have. That is still in Dublin. So, and why that is because the hotel that I was staying at had kept my bag, my checked bag that I have some just like town clothes in for the flight home. My pad, my sleeping pad, is at the bottom of that bag, and I just didn't see it this morning when I was frantically packing. So I'm gonna have to go all the way back to Cork, spend about $150 for a new pad, and then bus right back. So I've got an hour once I get in Cork to get to the supplier. It is within walking distance of the bus station. I've already looked at it. I've already Google mapped it. It should be fairly straightforward. I've already called them and I let them know I'm coming, so they held one for me. And then I need to get back to the bus station within an hour and get on the last bus that's coming back, so that I can get to the trailhead. And as it is, I'm still about a half hour to an hour's walk where the bus is going to drop me off tomorrow to get to the trailhead to get going. So tonight I was going to be staying at an Airbnb, but that got all messed up as well. So I found a cute little downtown inn, super nice, really cheap, $80, and it is gorgeous. It even has this a nice headboard. It's a gorgeous room, really modern. I can't believe it's so cheap. I don't know if it's because it's a Tuesday night or off season, but it's amazing. So I'm super happy about that. Anyway, so I did not get a good sleep last night. I think I was still on US time. I slept really hard for the first 2 hours after dinner from like 5 to 7. Slept really hard, woke back up at around 9:30 or 10, and I just played on my phone until about 1 in the morning, and then the sun comes up really early here at about 4:15, and I had my windows open, so sun shone right through and woke me up, and I was up at that point. I've had kind of a long day. I think I'm going to sleep a little bit better tonight. I hope so. I'm actually more tired tonight than I was last night, even with all that flying, so I think I'll sleep pretty hard. Gonna get up early, catch that bus. This time I will not be late. Anyway, thank you for joining my journey. I'm sorry I look so bad, already kind of washed up, and I'm just laying in bed in my camping pajamas. So, hitting the trail tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye.